We are going to find out what's happening. What's going on, everybody? How are you guys doing today?
Pretty
I mean,
good.
good. I still can't see anyone's face, but
You can't.
mine.
Yeah, I just see my stupid ugly face. So.
That's okay. I'll be. I
Oh,
think.
okay.
Yeah, says the guy who doesn't have to look at it.
Well, I'll
Yeah,
be
I know.
your
I got it.
host. I'm your host today. I'm the host, and you guys are just there.
Oh, we're just the eye
You're
candy.
Oh,
just
we're just
there.
here.
I
No,
got
we're just
everything.
here. Oh,
I got it all taken care of.
okay.
I think what happened, I sent you the guest link. I didn't send you the scene link. That's what it is. You can't see the scene and everything like that. Unless you want to see it, I can send it to you if you want to.
I mean, it's already
I like to
over and done
see
with.
y'all's faces.
Do you want to see my faces? Well, I'll send you the link and you can just join back in.
It's like I gotta fix my tabs too, like
Yeah, what's
my
up with that?
bookmarks.
It's a whole situation.
It's a whole thing.
You guys wanted this.
Yeah, well, this is the way that it was in the before times, and now you're changing everything.
Yeah, you can't go just changing stuff
Can't go.
in the middle of like doing things.
Yeah, words and stuff.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Yeah.
I
Hey, words are hard.
sent
Okay.
it.
Words are hard. That is accurate.
Oh, well, let's see. What's this one?
I sent you the scene.
There we go. There we go. Okay, put the thing in.
Oh, so I should.
Oh, exactly.
Sure. We'll try it again. What the heck?
We'll try this again. Whatever.
Whatever.
Season 2, starting out with a bang. That's what I'm talking about.
It's
Oh,
starting with something.
that's
It's
right.
definitely starting with something.
That's right. Welcome back, Season 2. And, John, what
Yes.
is this month to us? For both of us.
This month is marks what, one year since we've been doing this show?
That's right. We've been doing this for a whole freaking year. And we still don't know what we're doing.
That's right.
Yes.
That'll bring the
love it.
viewers in.
That's right. I hope you guys enjoy this. This is raw material right here for you.
Raw and unfiltered.
Raw and
That's right.
unfiltered.
That's how we roll.
Well, we wasted enough time, don't you think, guys? Let's get into the show, shall we?
At least 7 minutes, so sure, why not? Let's do the thing.
But first, John, I think
Yeah.
you give us an update about your show with Dream Theater.
Yeah, you can't see it, but I'm actually wearing my I'm wearing my 40th anniversary tour hoodie.
Yes.
So maybe next show I'll wear it again so everyone can
Maybe
see
next show.
So we'll see.
How was the show? I'm guessing it was great. I'm not going to say it probably wasn't, but
oh no, it was totally great. Probably.
Did you cry like a little girl?
I was close.
Don't lie to us.
You were close.
Okay. I was close. I had a couple of adult beverages to help me not do that.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it was really cool. I'm sure you saw some of the nonsense I posted on the social medias.
Oh, absolutely. I think you recorded every song.
Like everything. Because I don't post a lot of things, so it took me a little while to go, hey, stupid, don't post everything one at a time. Post everything all at once.
There you go.
So once I figured that out, it was a lot better. But it was probably I would say right behind Slayer. It was probably one of the loudest concerts I've ever been to.
Really? That's cool, man.
Yeah, it was loud, and I loved it.
What was more prominent? Was it a good production?
No, yeah, it was definitely a good mix. I mean, the video screens and like the lights and everything. It was all good, man.
Okay, all right. I didn't know if somebody's like way too much loud and like it's overdrawn by the bass or the bass drums.
Nope, everything. It was a really good mix.
Yeah,
everything sounded like it was supposed to be there. Nobody was louder than anyone else. It was good.
Where's the show again?
Is that the Anthem in DC?
I've never been there. Gotcha.
It's a pretty cool place. It's one of those where it was like, it's bigger than I thought, but also at the same time it was a little bit smaller of a venue than I thought it would be, because I had never been there, so I didn't really know what to expect.
Good seats?
But yeah, no, I was on the floor, probably about 5 rows from the stage.
Wow.
I was a little bit further on the left side, so I was more on like the Jordan Rudess, John Mayung side of the stage.
Gotcha. Still good view of Portnoy, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it was still awesome. Like I said, I like just watching that dude play. It's awesome.
No wonder you got a tear to your eye. Of course, that makes total sense to me. Well, cool, man. I'm glad it was a good show. I know you've been to one of their shows before, right?
Nope, that was the first one.
Really? I thought you went to the 930 Club one time or something.
Mm-mm. Nope. I was
Oh no,
never
that was
able
one of my
to.
friends. One of my friends, Eric. He went when I think Train of Thought came around. He went to the 930 Club and saw them or something like that. That's right.
Yeah, that was like, that my concert going days and those times were few and far between because my kids were small then.
Oh sure, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So money was already tight. So it was like, what do I really want to go see?
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, um, gotta gotta do something, right? I mean, well, that's cool, man. I'm glad to hear
Yeah,
that, dude. That's really cool.
yeah. And it was crazy too because they opened with Metropolis, and I was like, wow,
That's an epic
what
to
is
start the show with.
yeah, just to start it with Metropolis like that, and then playing like the whole 20 something odd minutes of Octavarium was
Dude, that's
nuts.
awesome. I love that song. That would be cool to see.
And then they did from Train of Thought, they did like Vacant right into Stream of Consciousness, so that was pretty cool.
Wow.
And you know, they did it was like they did, like I guess like
Snippets.
Portnoy said, greatest hits kind of set,
Sure. It was the 40th
and
anniversary, so
yeah,
the new one
yeah,
kind of did they play a song or two from the new one?
yeah, they did
Okay.
Night Terror and they played Midnight Messiah back to back. So that was it was
Wow.
like Night Terror, Midnight Messiah. Then they did they do Octavarium after that?
Get out. Dude,
They
that's a
might have.
long that's like an hour by
Yeah,
itself almost.
yeah, that right there.
That's half a show.
And yeah, and then they ended. Oh man, what did they end with? They
Pull me
ended with
under?
Pull Me Under. They
Of
ended with Pull Me
course.
Under, but there was. Oh, did they do? I think they did Spirit Carries On before Pull Me Under.
Oh, didn't they do Best of Times? No, they did that for the last
No,
show.
that was the one in New York. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the last show.
I was like, man, what a great way to end the 40th
Yeah,
anniversary.
that would have been cool to see that, but
Sure. Yeah, it is what it is.
yep.
So
But yeah, it was
cool.
it was so much fun, man. I had
Yeah,
I had a blast. My son had a good time with me too. So
nice. All right, well, let's get into it. Nice report. I'm glad you have fun.
oh yeah.
I couldn't wait to hear what you said about it because I knew as we are fans of
Hmm.
that, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those like you couldn't have like it was almost like you couldn't have picked a better set.
oh,
You know,
sure. Yeah.
I mean, there's like maybe if you switched out one or two songs here or there, but I mean, really, playing the mirror and
They
uh,
played the bear? No shit.
yeah,
Oh, wow. That's a heavy song, man. I can see that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep, and some of the strange deja vu and overture 1928.
Wow. I'm jealous. That's
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, I was because yeah, if my it's like if my son he totally forgot too. I was like, dude, Dream Theater night, and he's like, oh man, I forgot. I'm like, God damn it.
God damn it. Oh, man.
I should do that to him when we go see Metallica in May.
Are you going to see Metallica in May?
Yeah.
Damn. Who's opening for it? I knew Suicidal's on it, and I think Pantera's on it too.
Yeah, I think it's Pantera. I know
So,
I think it's Pantera and might be Suicidal.
Suicidal. Yeah.
I don't know.
Fair enough.
I can't remember.
I can't either. Don't worry about it. I saw one like Suicidal, of course, I'm wearing their shirt tonight, but I like Suicidal. So I was like, oh man, they're going to be on a Metallica show? Cool, man. That's awesome. Because they're back from the day too. So, all right.
Okay.
let's get into the brass tacks of
All
this,
right,
shall we, people?
that's great.
I got my brother's website up. As of today, my brother is buying a place in Tappahannock to start selling fishing stuff. So
No
I mean
joke.
he's getting his own shop.
That's dope.
that just makes sense.
It does. And his site is still up. And he started, I saw you saw the other day, John. He's starting to sell freeze dried candies
Yeah,
himself. He's making it himself. He's doing everything himself. So he doesn't make the candies, but he freeze dries them for it, which they're awesome, man. They taste so good.
Cool.
He did an ice cream sandwich for us one time. It was really good. It was like eating styrofoam, but it was like
Right,
ice cream.
but it tasted like ice cream sandwich.
Tasted like ice cream, yeah. So he's buying his shop tomorrow or something. Literally, literally tomorrow. So
That is so cool,
That's
man.
exciting.
I know, big time.
Awesome.
So, all right. Now, let's get into our favorite segment. I have called, this is in quotations, hey man, check this out. As we bring albums to each other, this week is Shannon, which is the enemy, was it?
Amity
Enemy
affliction.
affliction. Shannon,
Amity affliction.
take it away. How do we know about this band, Shannon? Is this when your
You know,
rotations?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't remember how I got this band.
Okay.
My guess is a friend was just like, "Hey man, have you heard this? Check it out." And I did. And I
Ta-da!
was like, okay. But I have no idea because I know probably right around the time when Let the Ocean Take Me, when the first album came out, I was listening to it. So
Gotcha. So
that's been a minute.
this is your album, how about you start out with the rating, what you thought about it?
Well, so the original, the first one, right? Because there's
Yeah.
Let the Ocean Take Me, and then there's the Redux that they did. So for Let the Ocean Take Me, I say 9 out of 10, easy. The Redux I have a hard time with. And I don't know if it's like nostalgia for just kind of like the rawness that is the first one. Like
I
the
understand what you're
Redux, right?
saying.
The Redux was so polished. They added, they kind of balanced everything better, I think.
The mixes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know, I felt like it lost something.
I have that issue sometimes when people redo like stuff from the 70s and 80s a lot.
I mean, if it doesn't sound like it's in a tin can, why are we even
I
listening to
know.
it?
I'm saying, it's just why not?
It's got to have uh that art style s to it where he was in his closet singing like to the music or whatever, or the bathroom. You're like, what's
In a
this for?
bathroom playing an accordion case? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we are going off just the album itself. So if you're saying the old one, you're giving it a 9, but the Redux, I'm guessing you're giving it a 7.
I'd give it an 8. I'd still put it in the bitchin' category.
The bitching category.
Like
Okay.
higher bitchin', because like 7 is technically still bitchin', right? But I'd give it
Sure.
like the higher bitchin'.
The higher bitching.
Because I mostly notice the difference in like the songs that I'm super in love with. Like, Let the Ocean Take Me, Pittsburgh, like those songs when they're so well polished like that. I'm like, we sing the rawness of it. And I feel like especially for an album like this, which is about, addiction and soul and suicidal thoughts and things like that, to have it be pretty is
Sure. I mean, I can understand that. Because I don't know about this band or anything like that. So I just like, okay, whatever which one I have. I don't even know which one I listen to, the Redux or that one. I have no idea. Um, but John,
Yeah.
what did you think about it, my friend?
So I listened to them. I listened to it like one time through the original one, and then I put it away for the
The
main
month?
course here. And
Okay.
then I listened to them back to back like a couple weeks ago, and yeah, I can agree with the rawness of the first one, and I didn't. I mean, as far as production value goes, yeah, things were more polished, and it seems like they added more lyrics or something because he seemed to like to say the word "fuck" a lot in these songs.
Well, I can appreciate
So,
that.
well, anyone can,
Anyone can, yeah.
anyone can. It's that was the big thing I noticed. I was like, oh, every song now has an E next to it for, explicit lyrics or
Explicit, yeah.
whatever. And I was like, huh, I guess that was a conscious decision. But I was like, yep, it still sounds like Five Finger Death Punch to me. So, um, and that might just be because the kicks are triggered in a certain way, and
Sure.
all of that kind of nerdy production stuff that no one cares
We
about.
know. We
That
know.
well, yes, we know, but
We know.
we know.
Because we have insight to some of that stuff, and we kind of
Yeah.
can open the curtain a little bit and like be like, oh, they did this and that. To Shannon, it's just like it's just music, whatever it is, you know.
My
Yeah.
little feelies.
Yeah.
Your little feelies, you
My
know.
little feelings.
So when
Yeah,
it
your
comes to
feelings.
that, we have this obligatory rule to ourselves to be like, all right, we're going to critique this just a little bit different. And I guess you're going to give it what, a 7.5 to 8, John? Sounds like it.
Yeah, I gave it a solid 8. I mean, it was good.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. Like as soon as
Okay.
like the first like 3 seconds, I was like, oh yeah, this is good stuff right here.
Okay. Cool.
You
All
know.
right.
So
All right.
um
Look at you with your black
that's
nails.
Oh yeah, aren't they cute? I was like, I'm gonna paint my nails. And then I did, and I was like, I don't know why I don't paint my nails more often. Like they're so pretty. And then I started picking at them. Like this is one day, and I'm already like peeling the stuff off. I'm like, oh, that's why I don't paint my nails.
That's why you don't.
why I don't do it.
Because
Yeah.
I have them for like
Uh,
8 hours, and then I'm already like picking at them.
All right.
I can't see it, so I don't know.
That's okay. You're not
I
missing
don't know
Well,
what
much.
they
they're
look like.
beautiful.
I
You're
know.
not missing much.
I imagine so. I imagine
Yeah.
that they are.
Um, I will not hide my feelings in this one. I really did not care for it. Uh, it was it was kind of brutal for me to go through, to be honest. I'll give it a 6. It just sounded like a deathcore band to me, like any other deathcore band. There wasn't anything exciting about it, but you're talking to a guy that has listened to just so much of the spectrum of things. This just falls in the middle of, nah, you know, I can appreciate the legacy of the band because it's been around for a while. And when people are into it, I'm not going to rain on somebody's parade when they're like, man, it's an 8, 9. Cool, man. I'm glad it is. But it doesn't do nothing for me because it sounded like suicidal silence if I listened to them. You know what I mean? And it's just that deathcore, it doesn't do much for me. Like it's all breakdowns. A lot of your songs are just breakdowns, which I
I see no
mean,
problem with this.
it's the
I'm not
same
sure what the
breakdown
issue
over
is.
and over. It's the same formula. A lot of bands have the same formula, and some bands do it very, very well. Which we're going to talk about. The band we're going to talk about. There's a formula there that we're we're going to talk about in a
We're
few.
gonna talk about it.
We're going to talk about it, but that formula that they have, it does nothing
It
for
works.
me. It works for them. Which
Works for
band?
them.
Are you talking about the Affliction band, or are you talking about the other band? The other band we'll
Yeah.
talk about in a minute. We'll talk about them in a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah, let's not
But
jump the gun here.
let's not jump the gun. Affliction, to me, I have never heard of them. They kind of lump in as you got the A tiers of deathcore, you got B's, they're in the C. Like they're just there, and they're that you hear from like Shannon, hey, you should listen to this band because you listen to that band. Or hey, check this out because you check them out. They don't get notoriety as those bigger ones, which kind of sucks. I feel bad for the people that they're like, man, they should be a bigger band. Well, maybe not. Maybe they're in the right place they should be, right?
I mean, certain bands are
Certain
just
bands,
better not being big.
and they do their own thing. And I'm glad Shannon, and I'm glad you liked it, but it fell to. I listened to it one time through. I had no passion to listen to it again. Sorry, not sorry.
Ugh.
Am I missing something? Am I
Yes.
missing, John? Am I missing something in this album?
I don't think so. I mean, again, it's you either. I think they fall into you either like this kind of thing or you don't.
I'm not. I don't even like Suicide Silence. I don't even like deathcore. I think like Whitechapel. I really could care. There's no appeal to me to that genre. Like there's nothing that like gravitates me to it, like at all. I'm just
No,
that
I get
old,
that.
and it you know,
Yeah.
just saying.
No, I know it it some of them it
Oh,
sounds like
oh,
they're gargling with glass. It's fine. I understand.
okay, all right.
This is not that band. They're not gargling with glass.
No, but well, he mentioned Whitechapel, so I was like, well, that's kind of something that those guys do.
Yeah,
But
but John,
yes, sir.
it is your pick, my friend. What are we
Oh,
picking
what
this
are we
time?
picking this
What are
time?
we picking?
Well, so it is definitely not deathcore.
Oh, all right.
You know what? I'm gonna go right out of the gate and say it's not even metal.
Oh, I'm liking this. What do we got, Johnny boy?
We and I
We.
will we are going make sure I have to check my notes here just to make it more suspenseful for everyone.
Ooh.
Let's see. What do I want to do here? We are going to. Did I not write that down? I haven't
I know.
updated my list in
I
a bit.
already have my band like ready
Oh, I
already.
bet you do.
I
I bet you do,
I
sir.
had them ready 4 months ago.
I'm
and,
I'm sure you did.
and I
So
bet
anyway,
you guys are going to love the band I bring. I know it. I know it. I have to
well,
redeem
so
myself.
You're awful
you
confident.
you're
I
awful comment.
it.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
sir. So
Okay.
we are
We
going to listen to the wonderful stylings of a
okay.
little Irish band called Flogging Molly.
Ah,
Flogging
nice.
Molly. Look at you.
The album is called Swagger.
Swagger. Did Mickey call you?
No,
Did Mickey get a hold of you? Because this is something Mickey up his freaking alley. Swagger. There it is. Okay. 2020, mixed by Steve Albine. Man, he just passed away a couple months ago.
so
He
there's a little story with this album. One
oh oh
song
oh
in
oh.
particular.
Hang on. Keep that story until next time.
Okay,
Oh,
Okay. We're going to keep the
all right,
story for next time. You're going to start out the show with that story. Deal?
fair enough.
All
Fair
right.
enough.
Swagger, Flogging Molly, Flogging Molly. That would be our next show by John the Leprechaun.
Hey.
Hey.
That doesn't sound like something a leprechaun would say.
I want to be Lucky Charms.
We got to work on your accent there, bud.
Hey, I'm German.
Your
I mean,
your accent's pretty bad there, fella.
That's why I don't even try. 'Cause my accent
I-
would also be
I
terrible.
try not to
you
try.
know what you
Sometimes
can
I
try, Shannon? You know what you can try? Spinning the wheel. Oh, it's time to get into Cradle of Filth.
All right, here we go.
What a
You're gonna
filthy
have to read the
band.
things to me because I can't see it.
yeah,
Well,
you're gonna have to. I can't see anything but my dumb face.
All right, you guys, chill out. Chillax. I will take care of
Chillax. What year
Chillax.
is it, bro?
Jeez, bro.
Yeah, seriously, bruh.
Yeah,
What
bruh.
year are we in? Like 2014?
Something. All right. Now, we're going to get into the Cradle of Filth. We're talking about 13 albums here. Quite a lot. They've been around for 25 years. Little itty bitty Danny Filth is the lead singer. He's only 5'5", 5'4". He's a small little dude.
They've been around since '91.
That's what I'm saying. They've been around for over 25 years. 30, yeah, 30 plus.
30 years.
Yeah, we could do 30. I'm good with math. I'm good
Sure
with
you
math.
are.
Yeah.
You're as good with math as you are pronouncing band names.
Oh man, I might as well just be dead on the side of the road if I'm going to pronounce band names or let alone anything else. Ugh. Ugh. Well, Shannon, you get the first pick. Man,
In that wheel.
are you knitting me a hat?
No.
Damn it.
No.
Sunny beaches.
If you give me your head size, I can perhaps crochet a thing. Maybe it might be done by winter time. It depends. I have
Ah.
I have like crocheting ADHD. I have like 6 projects I'm in the middle of right now because I just can't focus.
All right, we're going 2017. Cryptorania, the seductiveness of
Doriana.
yeah, sure.
Yep.
2017. That is
Mhm.
yours.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Mm-hmm,
mm-hmm.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I thought it was fine. I thought that they lost the bass guitar in it though. Like in
Okay.
most of this album, I was kind of like, "What? Where's the bass guitar? Where is it? Oh, there it is a little bit, maybe, kind of, sort of. I think."
I can't hear it at all, or
I
any
can't
of
hear
their
it at all
albums.
either.
Yeah,
I don't think they have it, but apparently they do.
It's like with the keyboard.
No, they do. You can hear it in some of their other albums. I don't know. For this one, it felt particularly lost. I don't know.
I'll be honest. I never could hear their bass. Good on you if you could. Good job.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I couldn't really hear it either, but
The bass never gets love, anyways.
it really doesn't unless you're in Dream Theater.
Yeah.
I feel like bass
Or
guitar maybe
Metallica.
is like like the whole Got Milk.
Like the low end for you? Is that what you're talking about?
No, so Got Milk became popular because they were like the only time that I realized that I need to buy milk is like when I don't have it.
Yeah.
And that's where Got Milk came from. Like that's how they came up with that.
Okay. All right.
And I feel like this is Got bass guitar.
And if you don't know, now you know. There it is.
Like just
So what
so
do
anyway, I
we?
gave it a 6 out of 10.
Okay. All right.
But it's a lawnmower. You put it on. It exists. It's there. It's fine. I don't hate myself if it's on in the background, but I'm probably not really listening to it either.
Fair enough. What did you give it, John?
I didn't really give it a rating.
Sure.
But I was listening to it while I was mowing the grass yesterday.
Classic lawnmower.
And the time just passed through, didn't it?
It actually did. It passed fairly quickly. I'm not gonna lie.
I have a something when we finish. I'm going to say something, and you're going to be like, "You are exactly right." But I'm going to let the list go through. You're going to be like, "Yeah, I didn't realize that." So I got something to
So
say about
I would like to know your opinion, sir,
that. On the
of
House in Hell.
the yes.
Ah, I knew it. I knew it. So
As soon as
Allison,
I saw that, I was like, "Oh, I wonder what Mark thinks of that," because
being a cover
I,
song.
being a cover song, I thought they did rather well.
Dude, I think they nailed it exactly what it should be because they took a good song, they made it heavier, but they threw stuff in there that's their signature. And that's what you're supposed to do with cover songs. It's the Metallica mentality, but they did one step better. They played a little bit extra something else on top of
They did
it.
a little something else, and then I thought it was cool that they had the chick sing like some of the higher parts too.
Yes. I'll tell you what, with them, I feel like she I feel like the later albums, the woman there's been a couple of different women.
There's been a couple of them, yeah.
They get a pronounced range of part of that album, I feel like.
Yeah.
I gave the album an 8.5. I love the album. I think
I actually thought it was pretty good, yeah.
I think it's just man, they know how. I'll get into it later. I gave it 8.5. I just think that it sounded very good. It had a sense of direction, and they had the signatures there, but it was just something more to the riffage, a couple solos that really like,
Yep.
oh wow,
That captured,
hey,
yeah, it's like, hey, that's something. Yeah. No,
yeah, compared
I
to other
agree with
ones.
you because, and it seemed, and if, I know not, there's one album that's earlier on that is technically a concept album, and we'll get into that one. But most of these albums that they have, they're concepts. There's like each song
Yeah,
is a story related to the title.
that is very, very, and I'm trying to not throw everything. I'm trying to hold back because we have so many albums.
Mhm.
I feel like you could say that about every album, so I'm trying to hold
Yeah.
back like the
Well,
uh
I'll tell you the album that I noticed it on. And it's not this one.
you get John Median.
Yeah.
Median.
This one, yeah, this one was from 2000. Uh, is their what, fourth album? It's fine. Um, it was definitely more polished than the previous album. Um, and of course the Satan stuff I skipped because that's just, I don't like that. But the Satan mantra or whatever the hell that thing was, I was like, nope, that's not for me. Next. But I feel like this had more. It was starting to go a different direction with the music,
Sure.
and like more, not more relying necessarily on speed, but more on like heaviness.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. I mean,
Yeah,
you still had the extreme metalness of it or whatever, but it was more laid back, I guess.
sure. Because this album is inspired from a horror album, a horror movie called Nightbreed. And Nightbreed is a Clive Barker movie that is Hellraiser. So Clive Barker is a pretty famous Lord of Illusions. He did that one. Um, he's a Stephen King type of guy with his books and everything. Um,
Yeah.
so Median is a underworld with creatures in it, but they're good creatures, and they actually save people, but they're hideous creatures. So that's where a lot of the music is inspired from, is dealing with like Creatures That Kiss in the Cold Mirror, you know, Death Magic, you know, it's like that's the gates. You're at the gates of meaning, and that's where you die, and you come back as a creature to save people. So
Yeah.
he's showing that creatures are good instead of being evil in their own way.
Yeah.
If you saw Nightbreed,
Like,
it's a really good horror movie. So put it in that aspect. I gave it an 8. I thought it was a good album. I thought it was, um, you know, what I say a lot in. I can tell the singing got a lot better on this album too, compared to
yep.
the previous ones. And the playing ability kind of got better too, where they are really good of setting up a story with
Hmm.
every album they do. Which I knew this one because I know Nightbreed. I was like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, I know exactly what it is. So I gave it an 8. I thought it was good, being that way. Shannon,
That's fine.
yeah,
I gave it a 5 out of 10.
okay.
Kind of really average. Nothing particularly stuck out. I did, I did write down Cthulhu Dawn and Ghost in the Fog equal songs, but I have no other notes based on that. So I guess there's songs that I liked on there, but like over like that tells me that this was just kind of another average album. You put it on, it's Lawnmower. You put it on, throwing the ball in the background, and
So Ghost in the Fog is actually their hit that got them noticed.
oh, is
It
it?
Yes, and actually, as Bam Margera actually played their music on his show or in something, and that song is actually their launching pad to get worldwide. I didn't care for the song, but um, you know, being with that, that is their single from the album too. That's their hit. Um, I think there was better albums than that one previously, but we'll get into that when it comes up. John, where are we putting this?
Um.
Sounds like
Let's
Lawnmower.
see. Yeah, it's definitely a lawnmower.
Is it better
Um,
than the previous one?
Cryptoriana.
I don't think so.
Okay, so it's under it. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Do that. Now it is my turn. Dun 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 dun. Dun. I'll probably get like the very first one or some crap like that. Knowing me, like, no, I got the Manicore and Other Horrors.
I think that was one that I could not find on. I think that was one of the record label issue ones I did not listen to.
Ah, gotcha. So, a lot of times when I rate these albums, I give it the speakers in the truck, my headphones, and cell phone, like listening to on a speaker, like in a house, whatever.
You listen to these albums 3 times each.
Yes.
You are devoted, sir.
Well, sure. Well, you know, when you rate albums to me, is if you have a little Bluetooth speaker, you're not really getting the experience. If you put it in your vehicle, a lot of bands, and John can attest this, they'll record onto something to listen to it in the car. And they'll
Foo
listen to
Fighters
it.
do that.
Yes, they do. And other bands would do that too. I think Metallica did it too back in the day when they did the Black Album. They were listening to it, you know, doing that. Um,
Yep,
I
they sure did.
I feel like some albums are great in headphones, some are great in truck, and some are great on Bluetooth. I believe with this band, I even downloaded their song Nightmares of the Ether Drinker. That's a crushing song to me. I love this album. Um, Frost for a Pillow. I mean, come on, that is so cool. Um, their albums tend to kind of blend in together, and I will say this: they had the Accept band regiment where Stalingrad, um, their later albums all sounded the same. A lot of their later albums kind of sounds the same to a certain degree. And I can attest to this when they jumped to like Nuclear Blast in 2014, or like kind of right there, a lot of their stuff started to sound the same, which is good. I think it's great. I mean, I even gave this an 8 also. I liked it. So actually I'm going to be putting this into bitchin'. I thought it was good. I liked it.
I thought this album was
I,
really bare. That's right, JM. You said you weren't able to listen to it. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like this album was missing something.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4.
Oh wow, man. When you're going, I don't know. It's like I did listen to this in my headphones when I
See,
went.
I almost exclusively listen to stuff in my headphones though. Every so often I'll get stuff in my car, but usually
Yeah,
I'm listening in an earbud. Yeah.
gotcha. I mean, I'll be honest. I tend to go in the 7 to 8 range with a lot of their songs, a lot of their albums. For me personally, I could give two shits what they're talking about. I really don't care. Could care less. You know why? Because it's the music. Now, the songs, yes, the lyrics are part of the music, and I
Mhm.
understand,
Mhm.
and
I
stuff
got to
like
be able to sing along.
that. I gotta sing
I got
along.
to be able to sing along. If I can't sing along, then
That's
it's not going to be super high up for me.
fair enough.
Amity Affliction, you can sing along to that shit.
Yeah, I,
very true.
that is very true. I do like when he does growl and gives kind of a personal preference of singing, but when he does that falsetto,
That that weird scream thing.
like that, I'm like,
Yeah, I
dude, come
don't. I
on.
don't. Come on. Yeah,
That part,
I said. I said the same thing. I was like, because I was actually listening to the new one, driving around today with my best girl in the car, and
on a Sunday. Oh boy.
yeah, I know. Yeah, so
Sorry,
but
big guy.
anyways,
Anyways,
she was digging it. She's like, "Wow, this guy kind of sounds like Gollum is singing," and it's like that. I mean, okay, I can see that, you know,
he paints
but
his face like
she
Gollum.
she was definitely digging like the music portion of it for sure.
The music
And
part, like I can dig that, and sometimes when he's singing, like you can hear him pronouncing words, but he has that growl to it. That's where his
mhm.
bread and butter is. When he does that
Yep.
high octave, I'm like, dude, now you're just making a left hand turn when you should have been 100 miles per hour going straight with the song.
Well, he
Like,
was doing that from the beginning, though, so that
well,
was
John, let's
yes.
talk about Shannon, the principle of evil made flesh. That is your album, the very first one in
Me?
1994.
That's mine,
No,
or
that's
is that Shannon?
Shannon's. That's
Okay.
Shannon's. So we want to talk about back in the day. This is your opportunity to talk about the first album.
I don't like his vocals. Not on this album. The music is fine. 5 out of 10. It's average.
I gave it a 6. I gave it a 6. Being a debut album, it's pretty good. And I always say this a lot. This is a sentence I see. You can see the direction the band is going, but other than that, they are just no other different than any other symphonic black metal band like Dimmu Borgir. And
Nothing stood out in this album.
nothing stood out to me. I felt like I was listening to rip off of Dimmu Borgir. I was like Stormblast, you know what I mean, and like shit like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
That's why I gave it a 6. I was like, you got to have an identity, man. It's a good start, and I see the capabilities here. It's just what do we evolve to? And we'll get to the
And
other
then
ones.
we see what we evolve to. Yeah.
And I'm guessing this is meh to you.
Lawnmower.
It's a lawnmower,
Yeah.
really?
Really?
5 out of 10 is lawnmower.
So what part of lawnmower are we talking about? Are we
The
talking
low.
about the lowest one?
Mhm.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. I can go with that. Talking about the original, there you go. The very, like I said, I gave it a 6, so it's not like I'm like every album I'm giving it like 7 8s. There are some.
Yeah.
There
There are
always
some
is.
duds.
There are some duds. Every band always has a dud.
Yep. So I I got like because this is they started their little formula with like the instrumental beginning song there, and I right away I got like an Exorcist vibe out of that.
Yep. Juggler. Yeah.
The
Well,
darkness, our bride, jugular wedding. Yeah.
so how
Um,
about you talk about the second album, Dusk and Her Embrace.
embrace. Yeah, this one. Again, you can see the formula that they have going on here.
Mm.
Uh, the vocals are still absolutely terrible. Uh,
Yeah.
it sounds like you know, it reminds me of like the Gorgoth days, like
Oh
those
man,
guys.
that's a good reference there. Yeah.
Um, Blast Beats came in this one, so I was
Hey,
like,
Blast
hey,
Beats.
hey, how about that? Let's see, what was that song? There's that harpsichord thing they were doing that I thought was kind of cool, and that Beauty Slept in Sodom, I think was the title. I don't
They
know.
do got some cool song titles though. Like they're very
Yeah,
Victoria Castle, like
it's
romantic
very,
size.
yeah, it's
Lovecraftian.
very like,
Yes.
yeah. It was, I mean, it was better than the first album. I'll give you that.
Yes, it was.
I gave it a 7
Uh,
myself. It was definitely an upgrade to but do you guys know the back history of this album?
well, of
No.
course not. I
Okay.
didn't take that kind of
The
time.
back history has nothing to do with my feelings.
Well, that's where it's kind of
That's where
interesting.
you're wrong,
That's where
Shannon.
you're
That's
wrong.
where you're wrong.
No, I'm
Did
just
you?
saying, why would I look stuff up? You guys know how I operate. It's all feelies.
I hear
Got my
you.
little feelings.
With the back history of this album, this is actually a different album than what it was supposed to be. So they were having um, record label issues. Where did you notice when you guys were downloading albums, there was another one called Dust in Her Embrace Old something? It's like in 2012 or 14. I listened to it. So the album you're hearing is actually all brand new. They already had an album in the can and they scrapped it all. They had a
Huh.
whole album, scrapped it, and started from scratch to get out of their contract. They didn't want to use the album that they released later on because it was a really good album. So they like started all from scratch and like they're like lawyers and all. It was crazy at that time for them because they were like money this and contract that. So they scrapped it. That's a off the wall, brand new album that they started from scratch. And they recorded
Interesting.
and said, "Here you go. This is your album." And what they were like, "It's not that good, but we recorded it." So there's another album that you could go and find from them that it's
The
like,
the original sin, is that it? Dusk in Her Embrace.
yes,
The original sin.
that is the original album that was supposed to be in 96, but they're like, "No, we're not giving you that. No, we're just going to do something different." I was like, that's a lot of twists and turns for something like that. Why don't you just give them the album? I was like, all right. And it wasn't even that good. I'm like, okay, so you guys did a good thing. You wrote a crappy album. All right, whatever. Whatever you want to do.
Whatever, dude.
Yeah, but you know what? This band is very famous for stuff like this. You know what I mean? They always are in the papers for something, especially the
There's
lead
lineup
singer.
changes,
Yeah, they're
and
Dave
record
Mustaine
labels
happening
and
here, you know, the
yeah.
Mustaine effect. But where are we putting this, John?
I don't
I mean,
know. I
Malice
mean,
Through the Looking Glass does have a great guitar melody. Just saying that influences
Does
your
that sway your way?
the way what you're thinking.
sway me much? No.
Meh, from
Uh,
meh
it,
to,
it's like it's on the border of meh and like lawnmower, I would say.
Oh, see, I would put this at a higher lawnmower myself. I gave it 6 out of 10.
Well, then that's where you can change things around if you want to.
It's gonna be hard though because I can't see the thing.
Okay,
I
so
know I can't see it either. So
Like
where
screenshot it and send it to us when the time comes.
where in the lawnmower are we talking about? Because you got the crypto
Rihanna.
Coriana median. You got the first one and the second one, principal, and then your dusk. So you just want to leave it where it's at,
I,
or do you want to switch it?
I would put dusk over principal. I would
Okay,
say. Yeah, I'd say
that
that.
makes total sense to me. That
I agree.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right,
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. All right, my spin. I don't know why you guys can't see the screen. I don't know why. That's weird.
Nope,
We'll have
just
to.
I'm just my dumb face and the silly things in the background.
Hammer of the Witches. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. So let's see. So, like I said, I always check to see if I download anything from them, which I didn't. So I didn't download anything. But, you know, this up to this album, this is the most guitar solos I've heard in a Cradle of Filth album at that moment. And they were really good too. And just the songs as a whole, from front to back, I believe I gave it an 8. I might have undersold it a little bit. I did dig the whole album, but like this is the era where okay, it sounded like you know, Manicore and Crypto and Existence, they all had the accept thing where it sounds great, and I'm going to give it an A because it sounds really good and sounds like them. Um, the solos, maybe an 8.5. I definitely think it's bitchin'. I really do personally think it's a bitchin' album. Um, I will say it is better than Manicore. I believe that myself. So I put it up.
I agree with all of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Great solos. I said it was concept adjacent just because like all of the songs are about witches, but it wasn't like an overarching start to finish story.
Sure. There's little segments of something else, but
Yeah. But
I
I
think
gave it a 7 out of 10. I quite
yeah.
enjoyed this one. Personally.
Is this one you didn't listen to, John?
No, I loved this album.
Okay.
It was cool. Like you said, the guitar solos were like, hey, this is a thing. I enjoy that.
I was here for
Um,
it. Yeah.
I was definitely here for the guitar solos. Again, just yeah, again, just the female vocals were in there where they needed to be
Mhm.
to
Yes.
give it
Yeah.
give it that extra little just
Little something something.
like push over the edge or whatever you want to call it.
And see that
Um,
little stuff there, I think gives Cradle of Filth kind of the identity of the just that aspect where their formula is sometimes it's the same, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, here's something different to that formula, but we're still sticking to something. Like the storyline of the whole album or the idea of the album, where every album has a concept of Victoria Days, horror movies, H.P. Lovecraft, Dracula, stuff like that.
Succubi.
Succubi. They definitely can lean into that in some way, which I believe the lead singer, he's always the brains. He like, hey guys, you guys write the cool music. I know what I'm going to write about, which he's all into like famous monsters, horror movies, and it kind of shows, being with that
Yeah.
way, which, hey,
Yep.
I'm
No,
all about it.
no, I say creativity wise, like especially in the lyrics and whatnot, I mean, it's up there for sure. I give him lots of credit for that because I ain't doing it.
Mm.
Well, you know who is doing it? Shannon. Shannon, you get the Screaming of the Valkyries, the brand new last week album from Cradle of Filth.
I didn't get a chance to listen to this one.
That's fine. And
It's
John, I
fine.
get
We can take over for it. We can do it for you.
That's the only one that I didn't listen to, though. I did so
okay.
good.
You don't
You
miss
did good.
many.
You did better than me because you know
He missed two.
I missed too. So,
Yeah.
well, I didn't care. That was part of the problem.
Well, the publishing
I will.
part was the problem too.
The publishing part is part of the problem, but
Yeah.
also I had I was that guy for this
You were
band.
done.
I was that guy where I was like, okay, am I gonna miss two? They're not gonna care, you know. It, but I came in. I had no, because I had a preconceived notion about this band. It's still pretty much there, but it again, I can appreciate the
What they are and what they
artistry
do. Yep.
and what they do, and again, the music is fantastic, and even when he decides to sing, it's not awful.
No.
But
Well, what about the new one? What do we think about the new one, John?
so again, it kind of goes where like which version of the band are we in, right? The current version is which one? Number 3, number 4? Who knows?
The iteration of what band it
The
is.
iteration of what the band
Yeah,
is, but I mean, it's again because you have, like you said, the accept thing where it's like, okay, now these are starting to sound the same.
they are. I funny enough. What? Hang on, John. What did you give the album? Sorry.
I I mean, I gave it like a 7.5.
Okay. Did you notice the quality being different? Like the thickness. There was a lot of thickness to it. Like mid
Um,
range, if you will, like the bass, not the bass guitar, but like it was just it had more muscle to it. Or it could be me.
if
I
there
don't
was
know.
something, well, there was something with it. Again, I was listening to it in the car
Sure.
with my best girl there, and
Hang
unfortunately, she
on,
does
hang on,
not
hang
like
on,
to
John.
listen.
John.
Yeah, yeah,
She has a name. What's her name?
Best girl. I think it's so cute.
What's her name? Your best girl.
Becky,
What is it?
Becky,
Becky.
or
Your
Rebecca. It depends on
your
who she
best
wants to
girl,
introduce herself as.
Becky.
But
You may continue.
okay, she doesn't. She has a problem with listening to things at the appropriate volume. She does not like things listened to at the appropriate volume. So sometimes I have to turn it down, and it makes me sad. But whatever.
You're not
So
watching it, are you, Becca?
now she's not even down here. She's
Oh,
upstairs or
fair
something.
enough.
So she's doing something that's not even
Remotely
related
close.
to
Yes.
remotely close to what we're doing right here. But
Okay.
yeah, that's why that's, we were listening to this one and she's like, yeah, that sounds like Gollum, singing.
I, I probably, I'll be honest, I really dug the album. I thought it had like this ferocity to it that was like I thought I was listening to an Exodus record back in the day where he was just all mid crunch and just like powerful and double bass and just like it was just in your face fucking hard, man. I gave it an 8.5, man. I thought it was for being 30 years, to still be that
Yep.
relevant with the music. I was like,
Hmm.
man, it is killer. But John,
Yes, it was
where
good.
you
No, it's a bitchin' record, dude.
it's a
I
bitchin'
mean,
record. Now, is it better than Hammer or McCore? Manicore? I want to say
well,
Manmore.
since I
Manowar.
since I didn't listen to the Manticore one, I can't
Okay.
tell you if it's better than that. But
Um, I'll give you this. It is better than Manticore. I'll put it in the middle. It is way better than Manticore.
yeah, I would say it's not as good as Hammer, but um, it's up there though. I
It
mean,
is
again, to
up there.
be 30 something years into your thing and you put something like this out, I mean, that's
So
dude.
you wish a lot of bands would do that.
Yeah,
Compare
absolutely.
compared to them. And I will say that having an influx of people playing with you, you can get away with that stuff,
Yep.
right?
Look at Megadeth.
That'll be a different conversation.
That'll be a different conversation for whenever that decides to show up.
Shannon, Godspeed of the Devil's Thunder. Can I say that's the coolest name for a fucking album I've ever heard? That is such
I
cool.
don't know about the coolest.
It is one of the coolest.
It's one
In
of the coolest
in
names for an album that I have
in the
come
album,
across.
in the title, was it a name of the title of a song? "Shat Out of Hell." What?
I mean, that song, I lost my shit when I heard that song. I was like, this
Man,
is pretty great. Not gonna
yes.
lie.
In
Not gonna
grand
lie.
in grandeur of frankincense, devilment stirs. This guy is like, what? What are we talking about here? But what Shannon? What do we think of Godspeed?
I thought this album was filler.
Really? You didn't
Yep.
care for it,
This
huh?
one this one was supposed to be their like big concept album.
Felt
Like
like
there's a
filler.
whole concept with it.
For
And I
Godspeed?
don't know what it was. Yeah.
Nope, did not get
Yep.
that. Did not get that at all. 5 out of 10.
Yeah, that was supposed to be their thing, but
What was the
what was the concept, you ask? I have no clue.
I have no
I
clue.
have no clue what it is.
Well, let's see.
Really? That's what happened?
I have
Stupid.
the next album,
Oh, you
Darkly
know what?
Darkly Venus of Versa, I have as a concept album.
Yeah, I did not listen to that one either.
Uh,
Couldn't find it.
oh,
Obviously, I could be wrong because again, these are all just my feelings. So
yeah, I don't see nothing about it. Like, yeah, I don't know what the
Well,
album was
so
about.
if you go to it, it's supposed it
Oh,
okay.
after Joan of Arc's death, he slid into life of debauchery and ended up him trying to reclaim his fortune through alchemy and witchcraft. Oh, it's the story. That story.
well, all right.
So it is a concept.
I
Hey,
I did not get that, but
No,
uh,
no one got that one.
nobody
But
got
yeah.
that. If you did,
But
you're a lying
also
son of a bitch.
you're a lion son of a bitch. Well, because it was saying also this is their fourth concept album after.
I feel like every album's a fucking concept album for them.
It is for them, yes.
Don't lie
So
to
I
me,
mean,
you little bastard.
I told you it was a concept. I just
Shannon, where's this going to go at for us? Are we talking low lawnmower?
Lawnmower.
Yeah. Okay. Mm,
Honestly, for me, 12 is gonna be a dozen. It's just
sure.
as long as it's, I mean, it'd be, I don't know where we put Cryptoriana. That's a better album than this one. And
Medium.
I would say Dusk in Her Embrace is also a better album than this one.
Oh, so is it better than the very first one, which is the evil, the principal evil?
No.
No, you think that one's better?
I'm gonna defer for that one because I gave
No.
them both 5 out of 10.
I think Godspeed is better than the first one.
In the first one. That
Yeah,
was my leaning as well because I have
yeah,
negative things about Principle. I don't have negative things about this one. It's just
sure. I mean, I gave it a 7.5. This is one of those um the opening of the album is they always have good openings. Like they're always
their
right,
openings are great.
yeah,
they're
there I
They're
I
right in your
will I agree.
face. Um, I believe this is one of those albums where when the singer's getting older, his singing gets better because he's not trying to do that high falsetto type of thing all the time. And he gets into that drinking and cigarette voice. You're like, yeah, eat gravel, dude. Just keep eating
fair.
gravel, man. That's all we need you to do. Forget your falsetto thing, man. That's back in the day. That is what everybody else was doing. It's like, leave that alone. Just leave. I did notice in the new album he did throw it in a little bit, but he didn't really hang on to it like his other albums. I think he figured it out. Like, let's pull back on this. Let's pull doing that. All right, we are down to 5 more. Whew. And we had a whole month, right? Figure this out.
Yeah, figure it out. Sure,
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. We'll figure it out.
figure it out, eh?
We know what we're
That is
doing.
to figure it out.
We know what we're doing. This is Thornography. I got that album. Ooh. Thornography.
One with guitar solos.
I gave this a 6.5. It felt slower and more groove oriented, but it was I could listen to it pretty decently, but they really sat back on this album a lot. Like it's like a purpose.
Yep.
That makes sense.
It definitely seemed a lot simpler
Yeah.
than other albums, yeah.
Yeah, there really wasn't nothing from the album. I'm like, hey man, this song or that song. I'm like, I listened to it. It's good enough. I gave it its treatment and stuff like that. I mean, to me, it's very meh. And I'm gonna put it in the meh. That was meh to me.
So I was able to listen to this when I had internet. Um, when I had internet, and yeah, it was definitely meh for me. I was
Yeah.
like, it's fine. There are solos on there, but I feel like the riffs that were on there were not really meant to be soloed over, if that makes sense.
They didn't know the placement of certain things. They
Yeah, it just like if they didn't solo at all, it would have been fine. Kind of like Saint Anger, I guess.
I
Um,
don't know, man. Saint Anger could have been better. Good lord.
well, it could have, and maybe
So
they'll re-record it one day. They won't, but
they won't.
they're the
They're
way they are, and that's fine.
they're naive. They think they do no wrong, and you know, hey, I guess everybody, DJ, hang on. Let's.
I mean,
let's.
I was gonna say their ticket prices say
whoa.
that's fairly accurate.
I said enough. That's enough. That is plenty.
Moving
But
on.
moving on to something way better. We're down to 4.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
go
that one's
back
good.
to Shannon. Let's start back over. Jumping through the lines and such. I think you are going to get Nephetamy.
Nymph, what
Amphetamine.
is it?
Neph-
Nymphetamine.
Nymphenamy.
Amphetamine.
Yeah.
Nymphenamy.
I love the blast beats.
Oh my goodness, weren't they so good?
They were yes, love the blast beats.
Yes.
But overall, I thought that the songs were kind of hit and miss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I was trying to figure out to not to jump on you,
no,
but
good.
like they have like the 9-minute version of the song and then like the 5-minute version at the end. It's like
Yeah,
what's the
overdose in the
difference?
fix.
Yeah. And I was just like, well, that's weird. But I
They're
mean,
not a
they're not
weird band.
well, well, they're not the first band to do that either,
No,
so,
they are.
you know.
It's reprising. They're reprising a song.
But it was basically the same. It was the same song, just cut in half. I feel like.
Well,
Maybe
I
I'm
think
wrong on
I
that.
think
Yeah,
I don't know.
a reprise is different than just. Oh,
well,
remember that song that we were doing? We're gonna keep doing that.
Yeah, this was they just cut it in half. I think.
I think what they did, they gave you the short version, and they're like, all right, we'll just put that as a bonus one at the end, the whole version.
No, the 9-minute version is track 6, and the
Oh, is
5-minute
it?
is the last one. Yeah.
Well, maybe they figured you needed a fix. That's what it says in the amphetamine fix.
Either way, I mean, again,
Either
it's
way.
look, look, man, it's not my band, okay?
Look, man. I mean, I gave it an 8. I liked it. I feel like this was the album where he changed the singing that he did, and that made it more enjoyable for me. Because like being with the musicianship, it always gets better every album, or it kind of gets to a
Yeah.
point and it can stay. It stays in the S tier, which we know what albums there are, but the singing always were like B tier to me. And I feel like with this album, it was like, okay, it's getting better. The albums are getting better because his singing's getting better. It's like every time his singing gets better, the album gets way better than like last time. It's not a bitching for me. It's an 8, but I still would put a lot high lawnmower for myself because there's
That's.
other albums that are better than that.
I mean, that's where I would put it. I give it 6 out of 10. So
Okay,
that's that falls in high lawnmower.
high lawnmower. Okay, yeah, I can appreciate the album by itself, but when I rate it to others, it's like it's an 8. It's not bitching, but it's still an 8. I'll still give it an 8, and shit like that. So
Your
gotta be
rating
fair.
system baffles me.
I baffle everybody. What are you talking about?
Makes no sense to me.
I make no sense to myself, let alone anybody else. And if it does make sense, I feel sorry for you. Literally.
How are you gonna have a rating system that you don't even know how it works?
Life works in mysterious ways.
It does because I have the same kind of rating system.
See?
You guys are the worst.
Johnny boy, did you listen to Existence is Futile?
I did.
Yeah.
I was also watching hockey at that time too, watching Alex Ovechkin break the all-time goals record.
You were doing both
So
things at this. How dare you not give Ovi
I was too.
your full attention?
I
Ovi
to be
was
fair, I
deserves all of the
to
attention.
madam, settle down. Let's pump the brakes there, Super Chief. Okay, just
easy. Easy.
take her easy. I did that after he broke the record.
Ah, okay, I'll allow it.
Look, listen. Let's be real. These announcers suck these days, and I really don't want to listen to them.
How dare you?
Why I listen to
Okay,
music?
first of all, wait, whoa, 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 whoa,
How-
whoa. First of all,
how
hold,
dare
whoa, whoa,
you?
whoa, 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 Shannon, hold. Just, if you could see me right now,
I can't though.
I'm grabbing you by your lapel things, and I'm about ready to paintbrush you. Just calm down for a second. What were you watching? Were you watching it on TNT?
Me?
Max, yeah.
Yeah, not you, him.
Yes.
Oh.
That's why.
Well, okay, there you go. I mean,
The TNT broadcast announcers suck.
okay. You hear people?
I was
Don't watch TNT.
I was I was watching it on Monumental, and Joe B and Locker, the probably two of the best to call hockey ever.
Yes, 100%.
Oh, dude, oh man, it was so good. Look up if you look up on the Capitals website, they've got Joe B calling it, and it is just the best.
Well, I will take your word for it.
Don't take
It
his word
because
for it.
no,
Go
because
watch.
I listened to that TNT, and that guy could not have cared less.
Like, oh, and he did it. Well done.
Yeah, it was almost like he was having a conversation with the other dude. And it's like, oh hey, he did the thing, cool for him, and then whatever. And I was like, fuck
What
you, dude.
coffee? What do you want in your coffee?
Oh, you're just gonna take it with 2 sugars this time? Okay, cool. Yeah, close to.
You guys crack me up. Will you do the
Oh,
likes of 2 sugars with your coffee? All right, John.
what are we on?
Your
Yeah, I don't
existence
even know
is
what's
about to
happening.
be futile here in a minute.
Existence
Jesus.
is futile for those fucks.
Yes. Existence is futile.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, put it in the comments. I won't. Well, I won't read it.
that's yeah. What do we give it, John?
Let's see. Yeah, it was. I mean, again, this is where it goes into. It sounds a lot like the previous album, but
Sure.
um, I don't know. There's something about it though that
Had a lot of anger and sadness.
yes, which it has, like all of them do. But there was it.
I felt like this one had just like more. Like it was more. It was turned up to 11. I don't know.
No,
Like
they
it had
really like
something
it.
behind it.
Yeah, they had they. It was like, okay, we're trying to top the last album,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like they did. My personal opinions. I mean, and again, how do you not like these titles?
Well, that's funny you say that.
Existential
So,
terror.
so this is his. This is Danny Filth. That's his name. This is his description of the album, and maybe this will make sense. And you're right. You get the fast and slow parts, and faster still. New delectable flavors in those remnants of the early Cradle of Filth albums. Galore, massive choruses, and melodic uh, drop downs. Old school Nuavo, which is new wave of British heavy metal, with furious, scathing black metal amidst a apocalyptic groove. You say it's not very different than was it Cryptania?
Cryptoriana.
Cryptoriana, whatever.
Cryptoriana.
The
Yeah.
album spoke of the times it was trying to simulate and represent. This album is about
Existential.
existential terror, the threat of everything, the end of the world, the end of one life, dread, a little hope. I guess it's all in there. It's his Cradle of Filth. that's what he says is the album, which makes total sense. Yeah,
It's a mixture of everything. That's how he ends it.
yeah. Bros
Yeah, nothing. You
knows what? My brother's on.
could.
It's a pretty dark and fast album. It is pretty hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, I gave it an 8. I thought it was great. I almost gave it a 9, but I was like, I'm being too generous. The Valkyrie is the only one I think I gave a 9 to, and that was it. This one was pretty cool, but it's one of those. It does get in that genre of those other albums, but there is something a little bit more to it on this album. I thought, it
Yeah,
kind of stands out a little bit.
it
Um,
does.
but where are we putting it, Johnny Boy?
So this one is definitely, I would say, it's definitely a bitchin' album.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Is there a place for the Bitchin' album that you want it to be? Because you got the Hammer of the Witches,
Hmm.
Manicore, and
Yeah,
then you got the Valkyrie. Where do you think it goes?
I'd say it goes. I mean, if I were me,
If you were you.
Which you are. I'm with you.
and I would say that it goes above Hammer of the Witches.
Oh, this is close to being shredding, huh?
It's very close.
It's very, very close. Which leave us to me, Cruelty and the Beast. That is mine. Which is interesting because I believe. So I don't know if I listened to the remaster one or not, which I don't know if you guys did or didn't yourself. Um,
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I know, and that's where I didn't know. Um, I wrote a long paragraph for this one. Evidently, I liked it.
Did you just say this is the last album?
No,
No,
it's
Oh, okay. Because I was like, what about these other two that I have on my list? Okay,
no.
sorry.
Uh, Cruelty and the Beast. So it's their third
Loki
one,
and the Beast.
the
Yeah, yeah,
Beast.
yeah, yeah.
Because that's why I wrote in this. I gave it the score, and I think I was listening to the remaster one. Um, it's one of those. Every song is something different to it. They're not cookie cutouts. Every song has its own like album by itself. It's kind of wild. Um, I still complain about the singing though. It didn't grow on me on this album, but I think that this is the album where people took notice of who they are and like, okay, we're not these other bands this way. We have an identity. And I believe this album was the identity for them or close enough to it. And um I gave it a 7.5. I liked it. I thought it was a bitchin' record. I don't think it's a high bitchin' record, but I believe it's a bitchin' record um, from them itself.
no,
No, absolutely not.
No,
No.
no.
Uh,
This
This
album
was
sucks.
this album was so flat.
Hmm,
So maybe we did not listen to the remastered one then, Jam.
yeah,
I certainly did not because the production on this is god awful.
really.
I gave it a
Yeah,
4.
it was. I gave it a 4 as well. The mix was bad. Everything was just misplaced. Like there was, I can't remember the name of the damn song. Uh, there was one of these songs where the kicks were like between the kicks and the snare. It
Hmm.
sounded like somebody was just shaking maracas. Like it, like that's not even. I'm not even joking. That's what I heard from it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this? This is just awful. Why am I listening to this?"
Huh.
Yeah, it was not good. Gave it a 4. Did not like
Huh.
it. Now maybe if I listen to the remastered version, I might change my mind. But the original version is garbage.
The
Then
production
again,
and mixing
put
of
it
the
in the put it in the comments and I won't read it.
so the so the production and mixing of Cruelty and the Beast has attracted some criticism, particularly with sound quality of the drumming. The girl Diva, Sarah Diva, revealed on the message boards the production is absolute rubbish. You know they're British.
They're
I spent.
definitely British.
I remember when I first
I
heard it,
love saying something is
rubbish.
rubbish. That just it makes it seem classy.
I remember when I heard it.
Classy trash.
Danny played it, and I walked out in tears because I spent 25 hours working in the studio on the album. It sounded like my head was in a toilet. Most of my vocals you couldn't hear. And also, too, she claimed that she bumped into the drummer, which is Nick Barker at the time, who
I know
expressed,
that's what really got me too. I
yeah,
was
he
like,
hated it too. He was like, man, I heard the mix and I wanted to postpone it, but they did not postpone it. It reached 48 in the UK and it sold worldwide over 500,000. So it got a gold record. It was better than Median. Median only sold 45 worldwide. And actually in the
I don't know how.
US, I don't know either. In the
Maybe because
US,
they're known now, right? So people are blindly buying the album because
Well, no, but
well, Median's
he's saying
after
that
the Beast.
Medium's after that
um
one. So how
Yeah.
let me look
Medium
at
did
my
not
notes.
sell better than that piece of trash is
Yeah.
or rubbish, if you will, is beyond me.
So
Well, maybe it's the reverse then. Maybe people were like they were about it after dusk. Yeah, okay, I see what I'm doing here. And they're like, "Oh yeah, they're great." And then they got this album, and then they're like, "Ooh, never mind." So
I
then the
be
next one, they were like,
yeah.
"You hurt me once,
You hurt
Never
hurt
me.
me
again.
before." Mhm.
Well, Shannon, you get the very last one, which is Damnation
And a
Damnation
day.
and
and a
the Day.
Day.
Yeah.
Um. Also, what happened to Darkly, Darkly Venus Aversa? Do we do that one? Anyway, okay. I'm doing Damnation in a Day. It was way too long, and there was way too much narration.
Way too long, too much.
Way too long. It was way too long. Too much narration. 4 out of 10.
Oh,
I was not about this one.
really?
Yeah.
You know what? I did screw up. I didn't even listen to that album. I didn't have it.
Oh, that's okay. It was, lawnmower.
That was Lawnmower too.
Lawnmower for me. Yeah. 5 out of 10.
Well, I mean, did you listen to it?
But
I what?
Damnation I would put in meh.
Meh.
Wow, really?
Mm.
Okay. I liked it.
Which one? Dark?
Damnation in a Day. I didn't listen to Dark Venus Flytrap or
Oh.
whatever it is.
So where'd you put it,
Couldn't find
Shannon?
it.
Meh.
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 And Darkly is what?
Lawnmower.
Lawnmower? Low lawnmower? High lawnmower?
It doesn't matter. Low lawnmower, middle lawnmower.
Gotcha.
Not high lawnmower.
Damnation, I gave it an A too. It's this is where the formula with the orchestras and everything got really big, but it had a lot of thrash metal with the
Yep.
blast beats in it.
hmm That's what
And
I noticed about it too. I was like, "Whoa, there's thrash. I
it,
love this."
I like the aspect of the switch part where they went to thrash and blast beats and thrash and like the riffing with the double kicks really lock in very well for me.
Yep. Yeah.
I liked it too. I thought it was an easy lawnmower, maybe even bitchin' to a
I'd
certain
put it up
point.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the end where we can change stuff around. Shannon, you get first pick.
I don't feel strongly enough, honestly, about this band to have any
Even
sort
move
of like
anything around?
say, like it's probably
Hey,
fine.
you know what? That's
Probably fine.
honest. That's fine. I mean, a lot of her stuff is bitchin' the meh. Like, we didn't think they were hot trash, but they were not
Yeah.
Nope.
They weren't
global
terrible. They
superstar.
just for
No.
me, it's
Yeah.
nothing like super stood out where I'm like, man, I really want to listen to this band again. This is great. Or even the opposite where I'm like, please don't put this band on. I can't. They're just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're fine.
You did the homework and it was
Did
good
it.
enough.
You know, it's fine.
Yeah.
John, do you want to move something around?
Uh, I don't know. I don't even know what I like. Again, I can't see what's there.
You
So
thought Damnation was a lot better.
I did. I thought it. Um,
Do you want to move
I
that
say
one?
I liked the thrashiness of it,
Sure.
and I like to say there's nothing about this band that is like shredding, right?
I don't think so either. I think with Embrace and Hammers to me was very close to it, but
Those were the two close ones for me. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
it
and
never went over the hump.
even this one, like when the thrash kicked in, I was like, whoa! And then it kind of
Yeah.
did its roller coaster thing, and I was like, okay, I can see that. And
All
so,
right.
yeah, all right. It's definitely. I would say I would move it to bitchin'. That's right, I said it.
Mm.
It's on the lower end of bitchin'. It's like
Okay.
the high lawnmower, low bitchin' line.
Sure. Personally for me, their very first one is very meh. I put it down the meh. It's not a lawnmower. I do not want to listen to the first two. I really could care less about. When it gets to the third one or fourth one, that's where it's lawnmower for me, and it's listenable for me to put it in the background and clean the house. You know what I mean? I believe the last five is the except where the last five of their albums are sounding the same, but they're really good. And you give them eights because you're like, it's all good shit. You know, you can't deny it. I do truly believe their new one is a little bit better than the previous ones. It just sounds like it just has more aggression to it and more like meat to it. Like they put in like a little bit more of the mid range to give it like a thickness. Exodus is very famous for doing that. They do the mid range crunch. They don't care about the low end or the treble. They want the mid crunch. And you know who doesn't like mid crunch? I do. As any other.
That's your breakfast cereal,
That
mid
is my
crunch.
breakfast. That's right. That's right. All right. Can we say they're probably a lawnmower band? Pretty much.
For me, yeah.
Yeah.
For me, yeah,
Yeah.
they're good. It's good background for sure.
Sure. The last five are really good. They're bitching, but they're good enough to put in the background for me,
Yep.
to do that. So, all right. Well, everybody did their assignment.
That's something you would listen to like with power tools. That's what another thing that Becky said. She's like, "Oh, this sounds like power tools music."
Becky she needs to be on here because she's got some funny stuff.
She won't.
No.
She won't do it.
She won't.
No,
She can't
she
make an
won't.
appearance. No appearance.
No, she won't. Just like Ryan won't make an appearance either.
You
No.
guys, you
But
guys
when he says things, I will bring
chime
them
in.
up.
Fair enough.
You
Fair
know?
enough. All right, Cradle of Filth, your lawnmower band. Congratulations. Good job. Now,
Next.
on to my favorite parts. Adds a
See,
blade.
he could lie to us right now because we can't see what's
That's true.
explicit.
You'd be like, now we're gonna listen to.
Yeah, we're gonna listen to Tom Waits or whatever.
Tom Waits. Goodness. Let's see.
It's Scatman Carruthers.
All right, let's see. Complete wheels.
Good lord.
All right, let me make sure I got Cradle out. And yep, Cradle of Filth is out. All right. On to our last segment, which we're really happy about all the time. The
All the
Wheel
time.
of Destiny. Dun, dun, dun. All right. Tell me when to stop shuffling.
Wait, who's supposed to tell you?
It doesn't matter.
I was just gonna let him keep clicking for a while and just see and how long he could click. All right, good, stop.
Oh, I was gonna let him keep going.
Yeah,
You're gonna let him keep going on.
You're gonna get some hurt feelings here in a second. All right, what's everybody's guess? Genre. I'm guessing
Genre?
grindcore.
Is glam still a thing? Glam.
Oh yeah.
is
Oh
that a
yeah.
thing? I'm
Yeah.
gonna pick that one.
Glam. Okay. Good.
Glam
Okay.
rock.
Okay.
I don't know what else is left. I mean, we've had.
New metal.
Oh, that's a good
Oh.
one.
Yeah, we've only had one new metal band so far, so yeah, let's do that one. Yeah, I'm going new metal.
Ooh. Lincoln Park.
Nice.
Wow.
Everybody, Lincoln Park is our next group. And we're going to come back in
Wow.
2 weeks.
Oh man, this is gonna. Whew.
Oh, you know what? I
It's
have
gonna
a
take me
story
back.
about Lincoln Park too. Good
Well,
times.
you can hold
Okay.
on to it till the next time.
I will. I will. Don't you worry about that.
Don't you worry. All right. Well, Lincoln Park it is. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Same bat time, same bat channel. Yes.
Tell your friends.
Yep.
Tell your friends. And also, too, we will be back with, hey, check this out from John from Flogging Molly. That I've never listened to Flogging Molly, so that's going to be interesting for me.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
Yes, it will. That's why I said, you sure Mickey didn't call you?
Yep.
Because them and Dropkick Murphys are right up his alley. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, all right, guys, say goodbye to the internet.
Goodbye,
Bye,
internet. You can't see me.
Yeah.
But,
I
Oh,
think
they
the
can
internet can
John
see.
Cena style.
You
You
can't see
me.
me. Bye, guys.